everyone, and thank you for joining us at Intellectual Chocolate, where we have intelligent conversations with brilliant Black minds. Today, my name is Kim Seabrooks, and today I have with me Miss Vanessa Canterbury, who is the founder of Inspired by Vanessa. Vanessa is a business owner, she's a mindset coach, she's an author, and she's a speaker. And I'm so excited for you to hear about her business and the things that she's doing to help other people. But before we go into our interview, I just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, who is the Black Business School. That's theblackbusinessschool.com, theblackbusinessschool.com, where you can get financial literacy that will help you start your business today. Hello, Vanessa, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm so excited to have you here because I know what you're doing is so great and you're helping so many people, and I just want them to hear your story and hear about your business. Okay. So tell us a little bit about your background and what got you to the place where you said, okay, I have to take a leap of faith and go out on my own.
Ooh. Well, first of all, thank you so much for this opportunity. I so appreciate it.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
I come from a background of being raised by a single mother, come from a toxic background, should I say, of dysfunction, abuse on so many levels. The list goes on. And I am also a teen mom. So I had my first child at the tender age of 16. And I had to be able to just go through a lot of things in my life that I truly didn't understand. Like, why me? Like, why me? And so by the time I was 21, I had 3 kids and married and divorced. And so I found myself in a place where I didn't like the route that I was going. I just didn't like it. I see myself repeating things that I seen. I seen things that was so dysfunctional, and now I have these 3 little ones looking back at me. And I was like, I cannot subject them to that because they don't deserve it. And so what I did, I found myself in a place of rock bottom, should I say? Like my back was against the wall. I'm on the floor. I'm at my wit's end. I don't know which way to turn. That was me. And so I remember just at that moment, I think I was about 25 by then. I was like, you know what? I got to do something. I don't even think I was 25, probably a little bit before 25. But I got to do something. I don't know. But I'm going to trust you, Lord. I need direction. I need clarity. I need understanding. But most importantly, I'm willing to be able to accept the fact that I'm a broken person. I need to accept the fact that I need healing. I need to accept the fact that the things that I seen was normal, but I want to do things that's not normal so my children don't feel this pain, this hurt, and have to repeat this same cycle. But I'm going to go ahead and surrender because I don't have nowhere else to turn. I need help. And at that very moment, I never knew that I was going to be on a journey. And all I kept hearing him say in repeating mode was, it's going to be okay, my child. And I said, well, okay. And I started repeating it. I repeated it over and over again, walking through my house and wiping the tears from my eyes and just believing exactly what I heard. And so at that moment, I did not know 30 days less, I was starting my new journey, my new chapter in my life of breaking a generational curse. And so he had to move me out of an area and move me into a place that was foreign. See, oftentimes we don't want to go to a foreign place because we are so used to being in our comfort zone. We're used to being around those people that we grew up and we called and we could be able to go hang out with them. Well, I needed to be able to just be removed from those things and to have things placed in front of me. And he did. And he was testing me. And he tested me to the point where when I moved to an area that I didn't even know if I was going to have the rent money, the deposit, nothing. I had no clue. I didn't know about this area, nothing. So I drove around. I said, have your way. I'm just going on this faith walk with you. Just have your way. And I did. And I went and seen this apartment, beautiful apartment. I said, but how am I going to afford this? And the man said, somebody's supposed to come, but they didn't come. But if you are serious, just write your deposit check and then you could be able to pay the rest when you move in. I know I didn't have that money in my account. I know I didn't, but I wrote the check. I got the keys, the check cleared, and I had the money for me to move in to cover first month's rent. If that's not faith, I don't know what is, but I'm on this journey and I'm going to trust you again. And so that journey was a place where I was finding peace on the outside. It's so peaceful on the outside, but he was starting to do the work on the inside, and he had to take me to this new place. And so by doing that, he had to put things in my face that was hurtful. And I didn't want to see it, but I had to open my eyes to see it. See, oftentimes we want to be able to just bypass those things in our life just so we don't have to face those things and thinking that we're going to be able to be all right. It's going to, we don't have to live it all over again because I'm going to go ahead and trust this. No, 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 no. You have to be able to face those things in order for you to be able to heal wholly. And I wanted to be able to heal wholly. And so just being able to heal wholly, I have to face the facts that I was broken on so many levels. And I was going down the verge of breaking my own children. That was painful because I already know how it felt. And so I trust the process. Trust the process. And by trusting the process, it allowed me to be able to be the very first person in my family to break the generational curse on the life side. And that was not easy. I was willing to take that target. I was willing to take that hit for my children and for those to follow. I was willing to be able to do that so they don't have to do it. And so you're going to have people turn your head up, look at you crazy, talk down to you and everything else. But I was okay with that because when I surrendered, he said to me, and I hold on to dearly, that it's going to be okay, my child. And so now here I am, fast forwarding. I worked in corporate America for 20 years. And working in corporate America for 20 years, I found myself part of the layoff. Where now here I have 3 teenagers, one going into college, one going into senior year of high school, and another one going into a freshman year of high school. And now here I am laid off. The savings I thought I had was saved. It was enough savings with this economy. And so here I am 2 years later, still wasn't able to find a job. Those people that I have helped and supported and been around, I can call them and put 2 nickels together to put gas in the car, to see if I had a meal for my children and I to eat. Nothing. I had to walk this journey alone, and it cost me a lot. It cost me a lot of my reality and also finding my own identity yet again now in the business world. And so I went along with this journey and I took a leap of faith yet once again, because he told me, he said, if you remember that moment that you came to me to ask me to help you to be able to break this generational curse on the life side, what makes you think I'm not going to be right along with you on this journey in business? And so I had to get up. And when I get up, I said, okay, I got up, Lord. What else do I do? Because now it's 2 years in. He said, but I need you to just get up a little bit more. And I said, okay, I'm up. But I need you to get up and move. Okay, I'm moving. I need you to move a little bit more. And so just that faith walk of just moving, he was moving and pulling me along the way of saying, okay, I know I have a story for you, but I need you to understand something, Vanessa. That deadbolt was put on that door of corporate America for a reason. Your time was up there. I have something bigger that I know that you're able to do. You didn't go through the things that you went through in your life to keep it to yourself. It's somebody else's survival kit, Vanessa. And I had to accept that. And sometimes we don't want to accept it, so we'll just go ahead and bypass it. Well, I no longer want to bypass it because now I'm sinking in depression. So I'm going to go ahead because I know I have a big assignment. I just don't know what the heck the assignment is. But I'm going to go ahead and trust you. And yet again, I was on my knees 2 years later and I said, I know you have something for me. I just don't know what it is because nobody's hiring me. My unemployment check is about to get ready to run out. I don't know what to do. And I remember it was January 2013. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. And March 2013, a whole nother world began. And of course, you know what we do.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I'm sorry because we know each other. Because we know each other. Your story is so fascinating to me, and I just want, I mean, you just told us a lot. You went through some hills and valleys in just the things that you were talking about before you actually talked about the corporate world. I mean, all of the things that you went through, the windy roads you went through before you got laid off. I mean, what was going on in your head at the time when you were dealing with all of that and with your children?
I was a lost soul again. I was lost again. I had 2011 was the worst. Was the worst. And I said, okay, what do I do now? What is it that I do? I don't know. Because prior to my layoff, I had just lost my brother. The one who always checked on me, the one who would stop what's going on with the kids, you know what I mean? Because we don't have that family tie. But he made it his business to be present at all times. Whenever I needed him and he didn't know I needed him, just to hear his voice, just to have the support, whatever the case may be, that was taken from me. And so with that being taken from me, I lost me all over again. So having to just bury my brother at 35, a week later, I had a car accident. Then to turn around, find out my daughter was pregnant in her senior year of high school. Then I lose my job. What you want me to do? What is all of this that's taking place, Lord? I don't know. What did I do to deserve this much pain? And then remind you, I had a major surgery that they told me I only had a year to live if I did not have this surgery. So I had all these things taking place in 2010, then end up in 2011. You lose your job. Really, Lord? I need to understand what's going on here. Because I thought I was doing what I was told to do. But see, sometimes we have to accept the fact that doors close for a reason. If that's people, places, or things, they close for a reason. Sometimes people's seasons are up. And you have to accept the fact that with those seasons change come along, but you got to be willing to be able to accept the fact and be open to go along with that change in order for you to grow and evolve and go to that next level. Well, he had another level for me. A whole nother level. Those are called tests. I'm throwing this at you because I know you can handle it, but are you willing to hold on tight enough to pass the test to be able to come back and have this testimony? Because somebody else already gave up. They let go, but you didn't. And I went to the deepest sinkhole of depression. The devil was on attack mode with me. I was seriously contemplating how I'm going to take myself up out of here because I raised my kids to the best of my ability. They will be okay. They'll work it out together. That was a trick of the enemy. He said, oh, no. And so I got back on them knees again. And I didn't know that I was in a fetal position. And my son said to me, Mama, are you okay? And I said, I'm okay, but I knew I wasn't okay. I opened up my eyes and I didn't even know I was crying. That was the moment of my cleansing moment. That was the best feeling ever. How do you close your eyes in prayer to open it up and then know that you was being cleansed? And that's when I knew a journey was about to begin yet again. I didn't know it was going to be foreign, but I'm going to trust you because even though my money is gone, I have nothing left. My unemployment is at the end. I have no support from my family nor friends. I've learned who people are. I prayed that you reveal and remove those people who's not supposed to go on this journey. I don't know what journey this is, and you did. Painful, but pain caused purpose. And so my purpose was already in the works. I had just to be willing to push. Sometimes you got to ask yourself, are you willing to get in that fetal position to really push? Well, I was ready to get in that fetal position because I was at my wit's end. And being at my wit's end, he pushed everything one by one. We just got to listen. We don't want to listen because we hard-headed. We already got our own plan. And I was willing to just say, I surrender yet again so you can be able to direct me to where you want me to go. Not me. Because I filled out the applications and nobody answered, but I'm still here. So you want me to do something. Okay, I'm done. I surrender. Have your way. And I did. And ooh, that was so scary. Ooh, that was scary. It was the worst thing, but it was the best thing.
Yeah.
It was the best thing.
Yeah. So through all of that, and your story is so inspiring. It's so inspiring because of, and it's because I know what you're doing now. I mean, through all of the ashes, you came out triumphant. So when you decided that you were going to start your business and then start teaching other people how to do it, I mean, where did all of that, I mean, where did all that strength come from?
I don't know. I tell people all the time, take it up with the good old Lord, because I have no clue.
Yeah.
I never thought all the things that I have done in the past 5 years, I've done all of that. That's a short amount of time versus 20 years working in corporate America. That's nothing but God. That's nothing but God. But see, he knows what his children are capable of. You just got to trust that you are capable of making sure that you bring that full thing to full fruition. Well, I was willing to be able to do that. And yet again, I am the first one in my family to be able to break that generational curse on the business side as well. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I got a lot of work to do. I'm just getting started.
Okay. Sounds great. I love it. You know I love it. So I wanted to ask you, now you've started your business.
Yes.
And you're in your business. I mean, were things going great in the beginning, or did you struggle a little bit? I mean, because of, you know, all of the responsibility that you had at the time.
Both.
Yeah.
Both. It was going great. And then you get like, oh, wait a minute, you get comfortable. Like, oh. And then next, you know, you find yourself going back to employee mindset. And so I had to really do some digging. Like, I need to really do some digging, Lord, because I know that right here, I'm loving the fact that I can be creative, and people are really gravitating to what I'm doing. But I need to also understand, I don't want to go back into that W-2 mindset that we stay in too long. There's nothing wrong with having a job. I tell anybody, nothing wrong with it. However, it's something wrong when you don't have something outside your job, because when that job said your time is up, do you have a backup plan? Because the backup plan is not unemployment. That's what I thought. The backup plan is not just thinking that your savings, your 401k and all. No, that is not the backup plan. What is your backup plan to make sure that you still could be able to bring in some income still while you are working that job? So if you decide to be able to walk away from that job, you don't have to worry about, do I have enough money? Your job should be able to be your investor. And I have to start mine backwards. So my unemployment was my investor. That was the hardest thing ever, because that money is not the same money like I was bringing in working a job, even though I was working check to check and that's it. However, I had to make a sacrifice. Too many of us are not willing to be able to make a sacrifice that's going to be beneficial to our future, to our legacy. We will rather allow somebody else to control what we do. So then we get mad when they take their hands off and say, your time is up. How can you get mad when you have the opportunity to be able to make something, create something, do something to make it your business, that your future, your legacy, your bank account, your children's children could be able to eat? But we don't want to do that. We'd rather remain consumers, and then we wonder why we still broke. We broke on so many levels because we are too afraid to invest in ourselves. But we want somebody else to invest in us. Well, I had to get outside of that thinking that the W-2, that box mentality, that cubicle through one way in and one way out, they have 3 walls. If you look at the 3 walls, there's one in front of you, the side of you, and the back of you. You only go in and you only going out. When are you going to start thinking that all those 4 walls, you need to break those suckers out so you could be able to say, look, I want to see all what's around me. I want to know what I could use all around me. What have I learned on this job that I could implement into my business? I had to really think like that. Vanessa, you was working close enough to the president where they was out there asking you to do X, Y, and Z. You telling me you can't use those tools and implement what was good and beneficial in your own business? I have to be real honest with myself. So in order for me to be free, in order for me to truly break that generational curse, I had to get outside that W-2 mindset. And that's why I want to go into mindset coaching, because we are in that box mentality. That box mentality is not only on the job, but we do this in our life. Why business not, this relationship not working? Dang. Oh, because you comfortable in that relationship. You feel that relationship defines you. You wait for your family to give you permission to support you in your journey. You want, they say they gonna do it, but their action is telling you something totally different. And so you choose not to go along with it, with your vision, that purpose that he has given you. And so you go back in that box of that W-2 mindset. And then when you want to move over, and when you do make a decision to move over to a business, you revert back to thinking like an employee. You got to get outside yourself so you can be able to live your best life on your terms. You got to create it on your terms, but you got to be willing to do the work. You got to be willing to make the sacrifice. You got to be willing to get outside yourself. You got to be willing to be uncomfortable. You got to be willing to be able to go into a foreign environment. And that's something that I have to be able to do. I had to be in a foreign environment. It's like, what is this around me? I don't know these people, but I have to get to know those people because they're doing something that I know I could do. I just don't know how to do it. So again, what do? Invest in yourself. Sit down and be a student. Take notes. Be okay with that. Because leaders going to lead. Because you're only going to be able to do so much following. It's going to end you up only at a certain place.
Okay. Awesome. I've heard this so many times. I wanted you, because you were talking about mindset coaching, and that's part of what you do. What does that actually consist of? Let people know exactly how you take people through that process.
Well, mindset coaching is, like your family done told you, get you a job and get you a good old job with some benefits. Go get you an education. Times have totally changed, right? So you have to be willing to be open enough to be able to say, wait a minute, hold on. This is not the route I want to go. Right? But if you don't want to go that route, what are you thinking? What are you thinking to be able to make you understand you ready to get outside of yourself? And the first thing I tell anybody to do a brain dump. Because we always say, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, but don't do anything. Do a brain dump. Get all of that mess out of your head. And then when you see everything on piece of paper, they say write the plan. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Right? Now you can go through a process of elimination of all those things that you have done a brain dump, right? Just take one. Just one. We don't have to be jacks of all trade. Just one. And if you could be able to take that one thing that you would love to do, that you say, dang, I want to do this. I know I will be great at it. I wake up every day thinking about that. And I go to bed thinking about that. Yeah. That's that one thing that you are called to do. But then also we have to be able to do on the life side. And people don't want to do this. They don't want to address the fact that you keep making these same situations and you mad. Because you have got yourself in a situation where you are average. You're average of who you date, who you talk to, who you surround yourself with, how you think. You're average, right? So you attract average and you mad. So now if you really want to be able to get your life on track and in order, you're going to have to do what? You're going to have to clean house. That means you're going to have to remove yourself around those people. Not saying that you are better than them. It's just that you want more. And right now, they are not understanding that you want more and you cannot get more if you constantly keep being around them. Right? You know that you're miserable in that relationship, but you stay in that relationship because you don't want to start over again, right? Or better yet, you know that your family is going to constantly keep calling you about drama, and because this family will answer the phone, but you keep on giving them your oxygen and you wonder why you're suffocating when you're done dealing with them. You have to change up the situation for yourself. You don't owe them no explanation. You have to give yourself permission to be able to say, I'm ready for change. Like wholeheartedly, I'm ready for change. So I deal with the mindset of the life and business. So you could be able to say, this is my reality of the situation. I wanted to embrace that this reality right here is not working for me. I'm wanting to accept the fact I'm going to take this sacrifice so I could be able to own my situation to make it better. That's a huge difference versus staying with average. Get you some ownership. People will take you serious when you're ready to walk in the room and you're ready to own your stuff. We don't want to own our stuff because our stuff stink. Right? It stinks. We don't want to share our story because we feel somebody going to judge us. Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to share that story that hurt me, burnt me, scared me. That story right there. That story also molded me to be the person to help somebody else, to let them know that you don't have to go down that journey alone, that you also could be able to overcome that journey. So I'm going to tell you my story so you can understand that you're not alone. I'm an open book. What questions you got to ask? I'm going to help you as much as I possibly can because I didn't go through this for no reason. I went through it for a reason. My story is somebody else's survival kit. Who else needs to be saved? Who else want to be able to get off of the pity party? Who is tired of sending out those invitations and wondering why it's returned to sender? Who is really tired of that? Now, when you're really tired of that, then let's connect. So you can be able to get outside yourself. There's too much of you that's waiting for you to show up, but you're too afraid of what you see when you look in the mirror. You're too afraid of it. So you put on this facade. Oh yeah, that's all that mindset.
Oh yeah, girl.
I'm gonna stop.
Girl, you know we have to talk, okay? No, I wanted to ask you, when you talk to people like that, how receptive are they when you're mindset coaching?
Okay.
Because it is tough to just, for a lot of people to see themselves for who they are. So, I mean, do you sometimes get people who get angry with you?
Oh, I have this one lady. She got so mad at me. Ooh. She told me, she said, you know what? She said, can I say something to you? I said, absolutely. She said, you are mean. I said, thank you.
Okay.
This is the thing. I am not in the sugarcoating business. I'm no better than nobody else. But I have to put it in your face in order for you to see for yourself what you are telling me. And if you're telling me and showing me this, imagine what the world is seeing. And you wonder why you keep going through and keep repeating the same thing over and over again. I can't sugarcoat it. I'm not going to be the sugar in your water. I'm not going to be sugar on the cane. I'm not doing any of that. What I am going to do is make sure that whatever I pour into you is because it was poured into me. Right? And so if I'm going to pour it into you, you got a choice if you're going to turn around and soak it up, or you going to turn it around and be the back to the same person that you was when you first presented yourself to me. It is what it is, right? And so I also let them know that you may not love me during this process. And I'm okay with that, because sometimes I didn't even love me either when God was taking me through all this stuff. But you're going to love me.
Yeah.
When I'm done with you. Now that's the part, because I'm a believer that people deserve to win. But do you know that you deserve to win? Somebody told you you're not deserving of being happy and having some peace and living your best life and having a successful business and being able to travel. Somebody told you that you're not worthy of that, you can't afford it, and you kept saying, I'm going to try or I can't. Well, that means if you said I'm going to try and I can't, that means you already said you're going to have to do it. That means don't do it at all, right? And so then your purpose go along to the most expensive place on earth. We can't see your full potential because it left this earth with you. You are here for a reason. You was born with a purpose. And in between that time, from the time that you was born to the time for you to go home to the good old Lord, you're supposed to do something. And you're too afraid to do it because somebody said you can't do it and you believed it. So you turned around and stayed boxed in to somebody else's reality.
Girl, I'm going to tell you, it feels like you're coaching me right now. Let me get back to my business here, okay? Now, for those of you who are just joining us, This is Intellectual Chocolate, where we have intelligent conversations with brilliant Black minds. My name is Kim Seabrooks, and I'm speaking with the dynamic Vanessa Canterbury, who is the founder of Inspired by Vanessa. And Vanessa just went over how she got to the place where she started her business and all the twists and turns her life has taken and how she's come out triumphant. So I'm so excited to have her here. Now, you know what? Now you're helping other people.
Yeah.
You're an author also. I'm just gonna let everybody know she inspired me to get my book out there, and she doesn't know this yet. She's inspiring me. She's gonna help me do my second book. So
thank you.
Yes. Now I know you're helping people now. Now you're an author. You have 4 or 5 best-selling books.
5.
Okay.
I can't even keep it because I'm working on another one. Jesus.
Okay. Yeah, she's a 5 best-selling author.
Within 2 years.
I'm sorry?
It's within 2 years.
Within 2 years, yeah, that's so cool. I mean, I do know the story. Tell us about how you got to the place where you started self-publishing, because you did try to go to a publisher, correct?
Oh my God. Okay, let's get to the nitty gritty, girl. Come on.
Okay.
I did. I always said I want to write one book. That's what I said. I started writing my book, which was my second book after the death of my brother, right? Because I always used to write. I guess I released my pain that way. And so I held on to that book for 5 years, right? I went to various publishing companies, and they told the highest bid I received was $8,000 for them to publish my book. Nothing was included with it, like nothing. I was like, wait a minute, am I going crazy or am I being punked? Is this a show? I'm for real. And they loved my story, but at the same time, they wanted 20% of the royalties. Then they wanted me to sign a contract. I couldn't do nothing else with my book. And I said, wait a minute, I'm confused. I'm paying you $8,000. Then you want what? And a what? Wait, hold. That makes it just blew my mind. I was like, this is crazy. So that my story, I guess, was amazing. So I was bombarded with emails and calls from all types of publishing companies. It got to the point where I had to put them on block list and spam list, like, please, like, don't call me anymore. And so then people kept reaching out to me because I would post things and say things. They was like, where are you getting this stuff from? And I was like, what? The things that you say. And I was like, this is normal, right? I guess not. So I turned around. I said, okay, I'm going to write something. And I didn't know I was going to write it in the weekend. And it's called Shifting Your Mindset. It's an ebook that went to Amazon. And it was bestseller in 4 hours. And I was like, oh, wow, what the heck is going on here? And then I was like, okay, Lord, I know I could be able to do my book, like a physical. I did the ebook. I got that. Now, the book. Oh, my God, that is a process. However, I prayed, and they said, be careful what you pray for, right? I said, okay, I just need you to show me the way. Show me the team. What do I need to do? Just direct me. I don't know. But I know this book need to come out because people keep asking me for my book. And I was like, dang. So 3 months later from after release and shifting the mindset, Breaking the Cycle of Brokenness came out. And that book went bestseller, and I just like out of nowhere. It was just crazy. And I was like, what is going on? Pastors and men, even men, was reaching out and said, this book right here. And I was like, I gravitate to women. No, this book right here is something that I'm always referencing to. And I was like, what? So I just didn't know. But the Breaking the Cycle of Brokenness is something that I had. That was a book that started with the prayer. That was my journey, but I never thought it would turn into a book, which is now a bestseller. And so I talk about various things that I was broken and what I did to overcome that brokenness. And then, Lord and behold, I didn't know I was going to do another book. Oh, Lord. So just these journeys of writing these books, they all went bestseller. And then people started reaching out to me to help them with their books. And I was like, okay, Lord, I didn't sign up for that now. Hold on. And so I was like, I don't know. What do I do? And so next thing you know, people just kept coming to me with like, I need you. So I was like, okay, hold on. Let me pray about it. And then let me see if this is direction to go in. And I did. Now, I am a book consultant. You write the book with my team, we will take care of everything else from the book cover all the way down. And that's what we do. And so now I'm here helping people do doing books as well. And it's gotten crazy, but at the same time, again, your story is going to be somebody else's survival kit. And I've been blessed that every single person that I have worked with, I show them not only just how to have a book, but take your book and turn your book into a business. That's something that publisher companies do not show you. How to take your book and turn your book into a business. It's called what? Multiple streams of income.
Yes.
And so, that time, I every last one of my clients, their books have became bestsellers. I have one lady, her book within a year's time, she just did her testimony, and I was like in tears. I was like, I'm just doing what God asked me to do. That's it. And her business have grown tremendously. She have contracts with the law enforcement in Atlanta now, because she's a doctor. She did a book on PTSD. Then she has a conference that she's doing next year. She also has been connected with a documentary because of what she do off of one book. And now she's coming out with her next book next year based off this documentary. I'm just doing what I am called to do. And even though you are afraid, and they do, it's scary because we used to somebody else telling us what to do it anyway. And I do. And so I write books and I help other people write books, speaking, coaching, and I'm just helping people to understand you have to be able to break barriers unapologetically. Period. Breaking barriers unapologetically is something that people are afraid to do. And I was one, and I can only speak from experience. So I'm helping more people to understand, break those barriers unapologetically. Period.
Now, speaking of that, I know you have, well, you know what, since we're talking about breaking barriers, go into what you have going on with breaking barriers unapologetically.
Take it up with the good old Lord. Oh my God, it's the craziest thing. Breaking barriers unapologetically is helping more people to get off their butts and do something.
You know what, I'm sorry, I apologize for cutting you off, but let them know exactly. You have a Facebook group. It's some other things that you're doing with that. Let them know that. And
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's going to Breaking Barriers Unapologetically is a group that is on Facebook. And what we do, we go in there and we talk about interacting. Is a support group, is a safe haven, is a place where you need somebody to hold you accountable for meeting your task. It's just not in business, just in life. It's a group that we take polls every week or so. We take polls on what's the burning thing that you need help with. And so that's what we talk about. After the polls, we go through. We just did one on entrepreneurship. This one lady, she wanted to be able to I think she wanted to speak and she wanted to do something else. And so she wound up going live with me on Facebook. And I would just ask her a series of questions just as she would if somebody else was coming up to her. And so she couldn't even answer the question. She was fumbling. She was nervous. And this is the same thing what I talk about. Brain dump. Get it out your head. You're fumbling. The ball is fumbling, right?
Yes.
And so once we did the Facebook Live, I asked her, well, who is she? I mean, why would I want to sit and work with you? Why would I want to sit and purchase tickets to be able to hear you speak, or whatever you do, right? And so she was like, huh? So I was like, let's reverse the roles. Ask me, who am I? Because you really only got like 90 seconds to be able to get a person's attention. Who is Vanessa Canterbury? And within 90 seconds, and probably less, I told them exactly who I was. And they were like, wait a minute, what? And I was like, I'm no better than nobody else. Mm-hmm. I'm a work in progress just like the next person. But you got to know who you are so people could be able to know how they could connect with you and why they want to be able to connect with you and maybe potentially work with you. And so once I did that, I am so honored to be able to hear that this lady has now started her journey on doing what she loves to do, which is culinary. She signed up for school to start culinary. She got her business. She started taking action. That's the thing. Take action. Just like the lady who said it, I was mean. That lady turned around and gave a huge testimony. She said, your testimony turned my life around. People don't even know who I am. She ended a relationship that was abusive. Her kids see her happier. She lost weight. Her family is like so supportive of her now. She is making better decisions. So sometimes you just got to be in their face. And that's all what Breaking Barriers Unapologetically is. It's just to be able to help people to understand you are not alone in this journey. I'm not going to judge you because I walk the walk too. We're going to do this together. And so there's going to be various things that come out of it, from courses, from conferences, from more amazing things that's going to take place. I'm just like blown away of the direction that God is taking me into, of helping more people to be able to just know you got this. You really got this. Oh, yeah.
It's awesome, Vanessa. It's so awesome. And you know, that's why I wanted to interview you. I was excited about doing that because you're doing some great work and you're helping a lot of people. And I'm sincere. I'm so sincere about that. It's awesome. And you know what? We're gonna get together. So don't. We're gonna get together. But I wanted to go into your anthology.
Yeah.
Okay. That's another great thing that you're doing, helping people with as well. So talk to us a little bit about that also.
You know, I did this anthology. I think it came out about November, the vision. I said, hold on, Lord, wait a minute, hold on. I didn't say nothing about no anthology because I know what it takes for anthology. Wait a minute.
Hold up, I'm scared.
And so, you know, we got to be obedient, right? And so he turned around and he gave me, everything. We always say that, well, you know, you ask for how, he tell you how, you still asking for how, right? And so he gave me every single thing, the name of the book, to what I need to do, the book cover. I said, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. And so I did my first anthology. It's called Cries of a Broken Man, Screams of a Broken Woman. And it's basically, it's talking about how you was yelling at me, being the man. And I have feelings, but men don't express their feelings. But here I am, a woman. I want you to hear me, but I'm not really hearing you. And now we have this toxic stuff that was going on. It's breaking up our homes, and our children are seeing it, repeating the same cycle. It's just on and on and on, stuff that could have been avoided. But you was too busy hearing yourself but not hearing me. And so this is breaking. It just brings chills. And so I come from a single parent household, right? And with me coming from a single parent household, I will see how my parents will interact. I see how I was interacting. And I was like, oh, but it's true. And so this is like a tabletop conversation. When you see the book, is like, we need to have a conversation about this. That's what it's about. Pick this book up, and you and your spouse or your family or whatever could be able to understand that men go through stuff just like we do. They have feelings just like we do. We want to hear them, and you want them to be the man, but you're too busy wearing the pants and a dress. You got to pick one. What you want to do, right? Because I know I used to do it. I'm just saying. I used to do it, right? Because I come from just being raised by a mother, and I see her have to do it all, right? And so I had to turn around and do it all being a single mother. But sometimes, I'm sorry, I just want to put the dress on. I want to be cute with some heels. I don't want to have to do any of that extra stuff. So that means, again, I have to get into my own history of getting to know where this mess comes from. And that's one of the things that I do. We get down to the history when I'm talking to anybody, to get to know where did this mess come from. When you connect with me about your book, don't give me the surface. Nobody they don't care about the surface. Give the history, because the history is relatable. And then you can be able to bring it to your reality of right now. But your history wasn't pretty either. And so that's what we talk about in every single book. It's always about the history of letting them know about me, what I've been through, what I've done, and what I have overcome, right? And so thinking of that anthology, it's just like it really, really changed. One lady chapter, they offered her her own radio show from her chapter.
Awesome.
You know? Awesome. And so it's just like, and somebody else, they have already worked. There's two other guys. One guy just released his book. Another guy's working on his book. Now he is like a continuation of that one chapter. Is your book is your gateway into the door. It gets you in the door, right? And so that's what happened with that anthology. And that book came out in April, and it went bestseller. And then I'm doing an anthology now. I asked God, I said, why? Why back to back? Help me out. Why?
Well, you know the saying, if I'm just going to say it this way, if you're given a lot, you are required to do a lot.
Yep. Much is given, much is required.
Yeah.
Much is given, much is required.
Yes.
I'm working on, this one should be out next month. It's called Dear Dad. It's letters to our dad. Ooh, child. That right there. And I don't do beat you up books. I just don't. I don't even work with clients who do beat up books. I just don't. My books, even though I had a rough upbringing, I'm not going to beat you up. That's not my place. You already probably beating yourself up for what you done said to me, what you done to me, and now you see the woman that I am now. Let's be realistic. I don't need to beat you up. That's not my job to beat you up. So I always want to let people know, you don't have to cuss somebody out. You could be able to say something in a way that you can caught their attention without using a cuss word, right? So it's just being real raw, and that's one of the next things in this Dear Dad book. And I don't have a relationship with my dad, so, but at the same time, I accepted who he is right now, just like I accept my mother for who she is right now. But at the same time, I know how to love you from a distance. I accept you. But at the end of the day, you have made your decision. I have to make my decision, so I don't walk around being a bitter woman. I don't want to be a bitter woman. I don't want to attract a man and say, oh, she bitter too. Been there, done it too long. So therefore, I have to go again and get that inner peace that I needed for me, so I can be able to move on and get my life in order. There's levels to your life. And so this is one of the things with the Dear Dad anthology. I'm really excited about it, because it's not just for dads. It's for those who have stepped in the role of being a dad, or maybe those that's coming down the way of being a dad later on. At least you will know how important it is to have your presence around, to be in your daughter's life, in your son's life, to know how a man's supposed to treat a woman, and to let me know that I'm your princess and that the son is the king. To be able to do do these things. The prince, he's the prince and you the king. Hold on. They need to know the difference, right? And I come from just raising my children. I want to be able to do it differently. And I have two girls, and I have my son. I wanted to make sure that I do my part. That's all I could do. I'm not going to beat it in your head. I'm going to show you with what I have done and changing my life around, so you could be able to understand that these seeds that I have planted, you have the same tools to go back and water those seeds, till those seeds, and go back and get the wisdom from those seeds, and then plant your own seeds for your children to be able to say, you know what, somebody started something different. I had no seeds planted. There was no consistency. I need to give you consistency. So let me start with these seeds, because sometimes I might even need to go back and water my own seeds that I planted for you.
Yes, girl. Yes. Now, this is what I want you to do. Give everybody all of your contact information, your social media, because you're also a speaker. So if someone wants you to speak somewhere, just give them ways on how they can contact you.
Perfect. I could be reached at InspiredByVanessa all over social media. by Facebook, by Instagram, Twitter. I am Inspired by Vanessa. My website, Inspired by Vanessa. My email, inspiredbyvanessa@gmail.com. I'm on LinkedIn at Vanessa Canterbury because we can't change that. But that's how you could be able to find me, Inspired by Vanessa, all over social media platforms. And I look forward to connecting. This has been absolutely amazing.
This has been wonderful. I'm so happy that we were able to do this. And I just want to take another moment to just let everybody know, if you're just joining us, this is Intellectual Chocolate, where we have intelligent conversations with brilliant Black minds. And I'm speaking with a brilliant Black mind, Miss Vanessa Canterbury, who is the founder of Inspired by Vanessa. Please check her out at inspiredbyvanessa.com, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So this is what I want to do. I want to give you the last word. Whatever you want to say, if you want to expound on everything that we just talked about, just talk to the people and just, give some inspiring words.
Well, first, I want to take the moment to thank you for just, the relationship that we have built over all these years. I can't believe it. It's just crazy how time flies, right?
Yeah.
And just, trusting me to be able to be on your platform to share my message. I really thank you so much.
Dr. Boyce Watkins is wonderful. I love doing this. And all of the people like you, I really want, because he gets millions of views. So this should be great, because I know some people who have already they're getting emails because of being on this platform. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I really do.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
One thing I want people to truly, dig deep inside yourself to understand that there's so much potential that has your name on it. You have to be willing to say yes to your potential, because your potential could be your purpose. You have something that you want to do. You have something that you want to share. You have something and you just don't know what to do. It's called what's in your hands. What's in your hands, like right now, that you could be able to do, that you have a gift with, because you was born with this gift. Like, ooh, can you go ahead and go to your front door and get the gift? I don't care if it's wet, if it's muddy, if it don't even look right, it's bent out of shape. Your gift is waiting for you at the front door, and you just don't want to go get your gift because you feel that gift is not for you, or it's not the right time, or better yet, it's maybe somebody else's gift. No, that gift was at your doorstep waiting for you to just go and open it up. And when you look inside that gift, even though it can be all wrinkled, tore up, when you get inside that gift, pull out your purpose. Pull out your purpose, because it's waiting. It is waiting for you just to be able to show up and just watch. You may not even know how it's going to work. You don't even know what direction to even go in. You don't even know if it's going to work. But can I tell you something? You cannot continue to move forward in your life or in your business if you keep looking back at the rearview mirror. If you continue to wait for somebody else to give you the permission to say yes to you, if you continue to put yourself on hold or pause just to be able to pour into somebody else, but you have not poured in on you, you have to understand that. But go ahead, unwrap your gift to get your purpose, because it was yours. Now, are you willing to push? And if you're willing to push, it may be foreign, it may be painful, it may not happen right now. But it's going to be a beautiful thing once you birth your purpose. So go ahead. Get started. Stop delaying. Stop procrastinating. Stop pushing it off. Stop waiting for somebody else to give you another confirmation that it's your time. You knew it was your time when you woke up. You knew it was your time when you looked in the mirror. You knew it was your time when you went to work and you was just sick of being at work, but you went to work. You knew it was your time to be able to start new. You got a new day to get it right today. But again, you got to go ahead, unwrap your gift, pull out your purpose, and get ready to push. I thank you so much. And I hope this really helped and inspired somebody else to know, if I could do it, a person who was called every name in a book besides a child of God, a person who was a teen mom, a person who people gave up on, a person that was left out and put out at the tender age of 17, a person who was married and divorced at a young age, a person who somebody else cast out, somebody who else is the black sheep. If I can do it, you can too. You can too. God is a giving God that he could be able to show you something new. I'm a living witness. I almost lost everything. Everything. I had nobody to call on, but I knew the best person to call on who's always been there. And I had to go and get that faith. I had to get up. I had to move. And that's how I'm here with you today. So go ahead. Go open that door and get your gift.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
You are so welcome.
So wonderful and so inspiring, so inspiring. I'm sure that some people are going to really get something from this, all of your words today, because it's been wonderful and inspiring. So I just wanted to thank everyone for joining us at Intellectual Chocolate. Now, if you know anyone that has anything brilliant to say, go to intellectualchocolate.com, intellectualchocolate.com, and sign up. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I'll talk to you later. Thank you, Vanessa.
You are so welcome.
You have a great evening, and we'll talk.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
All right, you take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.